Item number 9, public comment on items not on the agenda. It is the council's policy to refer matters raised in this forum to staff for investigation and or action where appropriate. The Brown Act prohibits the council from discussing or acting upon any matter not agendized pursuant to state law. Would anyone like to speak to the council on public comment? Yeah.
Your name and your street.
Thank you.
My name is Barbara Burdett, and I live at 118 Oxford Lane in San Bruno. I just wanted to, I see that there's no one here that, on my block at least, that's complained to me, so I guess I stand alone. I'm just getting over the sticker shock on our recent bill for the water and sewage and so forth, which on my own account has gone up by about 30% this time. I see where Mayor has said that the rates have increased aggressively to pursue infrastructure over the last few years. I think that's really an understatement. Last year we had a huge increase, and this year I just couldn't believe what my bill went up to, and I'm only one person with 2 cats. So I don't use the water and thing that families use. Now I get a lot of complaints from the people around me because I'm pretty active in my townhouse. But it would seem to me that there could be a little bit more fiscal responsibility on the money that we're paying in for infrastructure versus what we might be paying on somebody's lawsuit without aggressively every year packing us or hitting us with such bills. Even if we could get something as a proposition, maybe when you people are going to be reelected or something, have a proposition on there so people will see what you're doing and why you're doing it or why you say you're doing it. People just don't open up their PG&E bill and their water bill and then they see these inserts and then they think, oh, it's just more garbage, and so they throw them away and they don't read them. I don't. I read every one, and I talk to my neighbors about it, and they say, I didn't see that. Well, why don't you go to the city council meeting? I didn't know there was one. Well, I didn't either until I went down to the water department and raised a little hell about that water bill. And I just don't know. It's just, I guess I'm by myself. It just seems that we have no budgetary or fiscal responsibility at the local, state, or federal level anymore. And I just don't understand. It's like a San Bruno cable. Every year we get whacked with a raise. Doesn't anybody negotiate things anymore or think about the people? I'm not at the poverty level, but I've certainly worked all my life to save and retire. Well, I don't want to bore you with any more, but when people ask me about this, I'm certainly going to tell them, show up here, or ask you people to put something where everybody can vote on it, or at least something that will say you can't whack us every year with 15% or 30% bills like you've been doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You know, we're really not supposed to comment, but I will tell you, I am, believe it or not, as frustrated as you are with the situation. It's not just water. When you talk about cable, that's a frustrating thing for us. Those are some costs that are passed on to us that we, in fact, have no control over. And so it's a very difficult situation that we put ourselves into. We are not a new city, and I talk about infrastructure, and that's kind of a key word bantered around a lot, but in fact it is. We have parts of this city that are close to 100 years old. We're not like a foster city or a new community where they don't have these sewer overflows. We have a lot of them, and we're trying our damnedest, frankly, to correct the situation. It's very difficult, but we were just sued recently and had to pay a ton of money that should have gone underground into our streets to other entities for things like attorney's fees and things like the Rose Foundation and all different kinds of stuff that won't come back to our city. So we are working closely with our elected representatives higher up to see what we can do about that particular situation. But I just want to tell you, and I think I speak for the council, we all share your frustration. And if you have any specifics about that bill, if you give it to the city clerk, we'll look at it and make sure that in fact it is correct and that you don't have a leak someplace or something, because it sounds like, 11 or 12% is, I believe, what was posted, but 30% sounds like a big hit. So please, yeah. So give it to the clerk. She'll see that Public Works takes a look at it, the Water Department, just to make sure that, in fact, things are read properly. Okay? Mr. Rico?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, council members, as your representative to the San Mateo County Mosquito and Vector Control District, I'd just like to give you and the residents of San Bruno a short update on the district's activities. As part of the district's ongoing education and outreach program, vector ecologist Dr. Sindhu Peavy and I manned our information table Sunday, July 24th as part of your San Bruno Farmers Market. We spoke to a number of San Bruno residents and even scheduled a couple of resident visits. We handed out a number of our state Be Aware via West Nile virus flyers, and I've also been able to get these in a number of San Bruno businesses. I left a few in the back today. Some of the businesses: California Prudential Realty, the pharmacy here at Walgreens, Big Joe's number 8 on San Mateo Avenue, Rolling Pin Donuts, Red Lobster, and Lenardi's Market. I believe there's a couple others. We're agreed to post this flyer asking residents to report to the state dead birds and squirrels that could be affected with West Nile virus. I want to thank you, your staff, and the various city departments who have put up this flyer. The Senior Center also has one. The Senior Center had, these are not fly swatters. We handed these out. These are mosquito swatters. I'm going to give one to the city clerk, but she's not supposed to use it on other than mosquitoes.
Thank you for saying that, right.
San Bruno Cable continues to run the district's monthly varying slides, information slides. I recently observed from the ground and from the helicopter the treatment that occurs once every 2 to 3 occurs, and it will occur 2 or 3 more times on a 3-week schedule over Mills Field open space east of 7th Avenue property, where numerous ponds holding water are overgrown with tules, requiring that we drop pellets into the water from the helicopter because we cannot get in on foot. And I recently observed the San Francisco Airport supplied vegetation-eating goats as they helped remove vegetation growing in the small ditch east of 7th Avenue properties, so the district personnel could more easily and more completely sample and, as needed, treat standing water. And finally, I observed recently, and they did some more work today, as they cut back and removed heavily overgrown blackberry bushes growing into other sections of that ditch, so that the district personnel could more easily get in, test, and where necessary, treat standing water for possible breeding mosquitoes. A number of your residents commented that they had not seen our district white right-hand drive Jeeps that continue to treat on about a 3-week schedule all of the city's storm drain catch basins for standing water. So in conclusion, if you, any city employee or residents, have questions, they can contact the district at 344-8592, and we will attempt to come out and work with the resident and either correct their problem or help them correct the problems. There are some flyers in the back, and thank you very much.
And thank you very much, Robert, for all the work you do on our behalf with the district and a lot of other things with the city. Thank you.